Okay, so here we are. This is part 3 of finding the area under a curve. So in part 1, I did I looked at something very similar to this. I took the area of a bunch of boxes as the limit as the number of boxes went to infinity, and I did that with summation notation. And then I showed that an integral is equal to an antiderivative, and I integrated, and I got, and I'm just going to do it this way because it's easier. The area was from, of this function, 3x cubed plus 2 from 1 to 2 was 9. Got it. Okay, so now we want to do this numerically. So I'll do this video on numerically and show that I get the same thing. After that, I will make another video later to show you where you can do a numerical integration for a case that you couldn't otherwise do. Okay. So here's my basic idea. I'm going to do the same thing as a summation notation, except I'm not going to let n go to infinity. I'm not going to break this into an infinite number of boxes. So I started drawing some boxes right here, just so you can see. But here I have a box, and I can find the length of the box. It's just going to be the function f of x at that value of x, and then the width of the box is going to be some dx value. So I find the area of that box, and then I just keep on adding those up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with area is equal to 0. That's what I'm going to start off with. And then I'm going to calculate how wide this piece is. And then I'm going to find my function f of x, and I'm going to calculate the area of that little box. I'm going to add it to this area right here. And then I'm going to move my x value to the next area, next function, and repeat everything. And I'll keep doing that until I get to x equals 2. That's the plan. Now, I do want to point out one difference, and I'll do it both ways. So here's the first idea. This says the box is adjusted to the left side of the function, right? So the left side of the box matches the function. And I could calculate the area. I could add up all these that way. Or I could do it this way, where I have the right side matches the function. If n goes to infinity, it doesn't matter, right? Because you have super infinitely skinny boxes, and it just doesn't do anything. I'm going to do it this way first, and then I'll do it that way, and I'll show you that you get, pretty much the same answer. Okay, so here we are in Python. I've already gotten a head start because I was excited. And so one of the first things I want to do is to not write out the function 3x squared plus 2 every time. So I'm actually defined this function right here. So I defined it as a function in Python. I know, isn't that awesome? So here, just so you can see how that works, I can say print f of 2. And let's just check and see what that should be. I'm using t instead of x because I don't want to have the same variable in there. But this should see 2 cubed, which is 8, times 3, which is 24, plus 2 is 26. So this should give me 26. 14. Oh, squared. Okay, so 2 squared is 4, 12. Okay, that makes sense. Why was I thinking cubed? I don't know why. Okay, so that's working. So I can put in any function right there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is say what my n is. How many pieces do I want to break this into? I'm going to start small. I'm going to say 10. We can change that. Okay. Now I'm going to say, let's say x0 equals 1, x2, actually I guess x1, x2 equals 2. These are my limits of integration. I need to know those because I can't break this into step sizes without that. So now I can say dx is going to be x2 minus x1 divided by n. And that's how wide each box is going to be. If I break it into 10 pieces, and let's just print this out so you can see. If it's 1, from 1 to 2 is 1, and I break that into 10 pieces, each piece should be 0.1 units, whatever that is. So let's print out dx and just see if that's working. No. Because you know what? Good thing I did that, because I just did something dumb. There you go. Okay. Whew. What do I need to do next? Next, I'm going to say, what is my area? My area is what the heck? Is equal to 0. Right? Because I haven't added up any boxes yet. So I need to just start with that. Now I'm going to say, I need x equals x1. I'm going to start at the first part. I need my x value. So now I'm going to make a loop while x is less than or equal to x2. I'm going to do the following. First thing I can do is calculate the function. I call it fx equals f of x. I don't need to do that. That's just silly. Okay, let's just calculate the area. dA equals f of x times dx. Now I'm going to add that to the area. This is, notice I've started with x at 1. So I'm actually doing the left side of the box. I'm doing the left side of the rectangle. And now I'm going to add this to the area. So A equals A plus dA. In Python and in just about every programming language, this is the assigned variable. So the A's don't cancel. This says take the old value of A, add dA to it, and make that the new value of A. Now the next thing I can do is move x. So x equals x plus dx. And that's it. I'm done. So then I can print, let's say A equals A. And I get 8.55. The answer should be 9. Okay, that's not 9. Okay, let's do this the other way. So the other way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the value of x and then calculate the area. So all I have to do is just take this and put it up here. And let's run this, see what happens. I get a value that's too high. Okay, I actually kind of like it the other way. It just makes me feel better. So I'm going to put it back down here. And now what if we increase n to 100? You're getting pretty close, right? What about n is 1,000? Okay, so it's the same thing. I mean, come on, it's kind of the same thing. Let's just do one thing real quick. Let's plot the area as a function of x. Okay, so let's just see what happens there. So I'm going to make a graph. T graph equals graph. The x title is going to be equal to x. The y title is going to be equal to a of x. A is a function of x. And then I need a curve. So this is called FA equals G curve. Color equals color.blue. And then so down here, all I'm going to do is plot the area as a function of x. So I'm going to actually put it right here, fa.plot, and I'm going to plot x versus a. There you go. So that is the area as a function of x. If you remember, if you integrate and you find the antiderivative of that function, this should be that same curve. Actually, I guess I should probably plot that, shouldn't I? So let's do that. So if I have my function of 3x squared plus 2, the integral of that is going to be x cubed plus 2t plus a constant. And I'd actually need to find that constant, but let's just not worry about the constant right now and see what happens. So f, we'll call that antiderivative equals g curve, color equals color dot red, and then I need to define that function. I could do it different ways. So let's say def a, let's see, a as a function of z. I don't know what I'm doing here. So let's just return, I said it was a z cubed plus 2 times z. So down here, let's do FAD dot plot x a x. FAD dot plot AZ AA. Okay, so you see here it's the same shape, but it's off because I don't have that constant added in there. So I could add that constant in there and figure out what it is, but I think it's good for now. So you can see that the antiderivative is equal to the area under the curve. Okay, cool. I'm pretty happy. So I'll include a link down in the code to this code down below. Also part 1 and part 2, and then part 3 is going to be awesome. And I'll talk to you guys later.